depending on how much meat it is. Welcome back to the trail with Mushy the Cowboy Cook. Today we're going to deep fry some ribs. Yes, I said it. Deep fried ribs. Let's get into the video. Alright, for these ribs, what I did, I bought a rack of baby back ribs. Of course, took the silver skin off the back. That's that little, almost like feels like a plastic piece on the back. Pull that off. Wash the ribs real good. And then to cut them, see how this bone basically has no meat? And this bone has quite a bit. What I did was, for instance, if these two are bones, and here's the meat, instead of a lot of people cut right down the middle, I took this bone on this side, cut it right next to the bone, and this side right next to the bone. And then this had meat from this side and this side because the third bone I cut right next to the bone. That gives this bone all the meat on both sides, and this with just a little bit. This is still good. You can call this your gnawing bone. Just kind of gnaw on it, and there's a little bit of meat here and there on it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to dredge it in flour, but before I do, I'm going to season it, the meat, before it even goes in the flour. You can season the flour if you want to. This just puts the seasoning right on the meat, and I'm using Kent Rollins Original and Kent Rollins Mesquite seasoning. I've used these recipes in a number of, or these seasonings in a number of recipes, and it's a good overall, all-around seasoning. And just kind of rub the seasoning into the meat, massage it a little bit, kind of work it in there, and then flip the meat. Over on the fire, I've got my grandmother's chicken fryer. Got some oil heating up. And after you season it, let it sit there 8-10 minutes. Kind of let the seasoning work itself in. Now you're welcome to put any kind of seasoning, any kind of combination of seasoning that you like. I've just found that these two are very versatile and have kind of cover all the bases as far as flavors. So when we come back, we'll get them in the flour and start frying some of them. Alright, what you do is just get the flour in here, and what I like to do is kind of rub the flour in there. Kind of work it in all the creases and cracks and get the flour down in there real good. And then of course shake off any excess. And then just bring it over. Like I said, this was my grandmother's chicken fryer. And just slowly put it down in there and let it do its thing. Come over and get this other piece. These are kind of the medium double meat ones, because as you know, these, you buy ribs, they're all different lengths. And just let it cook. Don't go in there immediately, start moving them around, because when you do, the flour starts coming off and then you end up with no breading. Now we've cooked with the lady from Alabama named MosE. She's been at for a long time. She was at the North Carolina State Fair, as well as the Tennessee State Fair and other events around where she cooked on wood. One thing she did a lot of was fried chicken. Now, one technique she would do is fry it for several minutes, about halfway through, you know, whatever, depending on the size, the piece, but basically halfway through, she would pull the pan off the fire. And I know she liked to use the enamel, the porcelain and the enamel ware, cookware, and that cools down quicker. But what she'd do is take it off the fire for just a minute or two, let the frying slow down, and then put it back over the fire, and it would heat right back up pretty quickly. So that's what I've been doing with this, is just pull a piece out for a minute or two and throw it back in there. And that's a technique people use with French fries, called double fry, and they'll actually pull the fries out, let them just cool down just a minute or so, and throw it back in there. Give it a try. Now you want to let this cook for anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how much meat it is. And just like cooking chicken, you want to cook similar sized pieces together if you're trying to do it in batches. Like these two were about the same size, just like chicken legs, chicken thighs. So I've got a couple more to put in, and then we'll come back and give it a try. Alright, for these fried ribs, show you what this one looks like. Smell the seasoning. Nice and done. To me, it tastes like a fried pork chop. Something I'd seen somebody do, and I just had to try it. You know me by now, if you've been watching many of my videos, I don't mind trying new things. And if it sounds a little unusual, I'm usually all over it. So give it a try. Like I said, if you got a lot of the same size pieces, do those in batches. That way you don't have to try and keep up with, you know, what's what. It all goes in for, you know, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever, and then they all pretty much come out at the same time. To me, when you do that, you seem to go a little quicker. For whatever reason, that just might be my thinking, but give this a try. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video on the fried ribs. Delicious, easy to do, As far as seasonings, put whatever you want on it, but give it a try. Remember my Amazon affiliate link down in the description. I'll put the dates that we're doing shows in March, which is right around the corner. Beginning March 4th, I'll be at the Lodge Outlet Store in Concord, North Carolina, which is right outside of Charlotte. And then we move 2 weeks later to Lake Waccamaw. Actually, I'm sorry. The 2 weeks later, we're going to be not at Lake Waccamaw. We're going to be at Lake Waccamaw. We got shows coming up. Trying to keep all the dates straight. That's why I'll write it down in the description so that you don't have to try to remember me say it if I say it wrong. But 2 weeks later, we'll be in Lake Waccamaw at the Boys and Girls Home there. The following weekend, we're going to be at, just on Saturday, with the wagon. I'll be there Friday cooking for my friends. We're going to be at the Lee County Fairgrounds in Sanford, North Carolina. So come out if you can. If you're close by, come by and say hello. These shows are a lot of fun. They really are. Please subscribe if you like videos like this, and if you are already been watching some of the channels or some of the videos and haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Share it, like it. That helps YouTube get the videos out when it's liked a lot and people are watching it. And as always, ring the bell, and Mushy the Cowboy Cook will see you down the trail.